Good morning, girls. As you can see, I've had to do a little bit of rearranging in my lounge to be able to do the filming this morning, mainly because I wanted you to be able to see up and be able to see the height, so we need space. And as I said to you yesterday, I have a teeny little lounge. However, as I also mentioned, these are very raw and unfiltered videos. They're just off the cuff and no stopping, editing for the moment. I just wanted to be able to film something for you so that you have at home a little 10-minute sequence. And my thought process was to start teaching you some of the concepts in my Be Flowing class. And one of the concepts is, let's take it back, we're including yoga. You know, some of the foundation of the movements is yoga, vinyasa yoga, which is to move with the breath. The other element that I'm bringing in is fascia work, which is your connective like tissue matrix throughout the body, being able to keep that really nice and elastic and supple and gliding past each other, and I'll explain more about that in upcoming videos. And then the last concept is to bring in what we call somatic style movement. Now, somatic style movement is how does your body really naturally move? And as we get older, we tend to create our own ways of moving. And not all of that is great, because often what happens is we tend to have injuries as we develop these sort of ways of moving. As muscles get tighter and tighter, we put more strain on the joints and the ligaments and also the fascial system. So somatic movement is a really nice style of movement. It teaches you how the joint or the muscle is actually meant to sort of move in space. And so this will be I guess a little bit of a new concept to a lot of you. If you think of contemporary dance has that somatic style movement in it. So what's beautiful is we've kind of merging all these powerful movement modalities and kind of infusing them into one. The beautiful thing about somatic movement is that it really starts to cultivate these new movement patterns within you that really allows the spine and the joint to feel free, the muscles to release their tension, and you become strong against gravity. So without me talking for hours and hours about this, and I'll explain more in different videos, today is just really about spinal articulation. So what I mean by that is being able to create this sort of forward flexion and this backwards extension, how to create a little bit of side articulation for the spine to come down side to side, and how to create a little bit of sort of moving circular rotation. And all of these movements is mainly just about you observing your own body and seeing how that feels to you. And over time we'll start to cultivate this new movement pattern. As you start to become aware of your body, you start to notice how we cheat instead of movements to get us out or get us up from the floor, how we cheat and use perhaps our neck instead of using the natural fascial movement to bring us to that place. So today, again, it's just really simple, moving, building on little things each week. So yesterday I taught you just a very teeny clip about sort of movement through the hips. So let's start with that. And let's just recap that movement. So the movement, let me move my mat just slightly. I was meant to do that. So finding a mat, or you don't even need a mat, you can still sit on the carpet. Or if you've got a wooden floor, that might be a little hard, to be honest, so you may want to put something down. Again, you can sit with however feels comfortable to you. That's a big concept that I have. You want to find ease in the body. All our movement is to find ease, not to find stress or strain. Obviously at some point you'll feel your muscles contracting and supporting you there, which is great for the muscular system. However, we don't want to feel strain or discomfort on any of the joints. So again, finding that comfortable place, elongating the spine is really important, lifting up the chin, lifting the crown of the head up towards the sky. And today the movement that we're trying to get is this pelvic kind of circular movement. So you want to feel your sit bones pressing down into the floor. And as we create this movement, you'll start off with just this really gentle circle. We're not talking about big circles today like this. We're just talking about real subtlety. The more subtle you make your movement, the more you can tune into your breath, the more you can start to notice the nuances. And it's those micro details that actually, in my personal opinion, create change within your body, or create more connection to your body is probably a better way of saying it. So the song that we're going to play is allowing you to connect with your breath. You can even hum, because if you're at home, hopefully no one can hear you. And you'll be creating little movements of circles one way and circles the other way, and then we'll do some forwards and backwards, sort of rocking back onto the pelvis, rocking forward, and then we'll also be today taking it over to the side and creating a little bit of this side articulation. Now when we do that, I just want you to pay attention. As you go forward, are you doing this leaning forward, or are you truly coming down through the side and we're not jutting our head forward? So those are just a few things to pay attention to. So that's one of the sequences that we'll go through today. So let's get started. I will just play some of my music. As I told you, it's very raw. And now my phone does not want to work. And let's just delete everything that I have on my phone.
Sorry, you can put it there.
I did have the set up. Okay, here we go. So again, just tuning into your breath. I encourage you to close down your eyes. When we close down our eyes, we tend to focus inwards and start to tune into our inner world versus our outer world. Start to notice the flowing rhythm of the breath, the wave-like action of the breath. As you inhale from the nose to the belly, and from the belly to the nose. Start to notice the softness with the breath. And start to create little circles. Let's go left. So we're going left to right, to right, to left. Just this little circles, noticing the pelvis on the floor. Notice the tummy pulling in and extending out as you're circling. Notice your chest sort of pushing and opening and contracting and drawing in. And then noticing your head just as this extension of your body. You can start to make your circles as big as you like. In my warm-up, I tend not to go really big. I just want to find connection with my breath. And I want to warm up my pelvis. And I want to warm up the spine. I want to find ease within my own body. And then I slowly make the circle slower and come back to sort of a still point. Notice the breath, and as you exhale, start your circle the other way, going right all the way through to left. Starting again small. Notice how you rock from the front of the pelvis to the side, to the back, to the side, and to the front. Notice how the belly again draws in and stretches open. As you notice, my movement isn't very big. It's really small, but inside of me, it feels really big. As you kind of spiral upwards your chest and drawing your chest in, softness in your shoulders. Your head drawing in. notice and come to center. Find the stillness again once more. And then you want to rock back on to the back of the pelvis. And then rock forward and open up your chest. Lifting your chin. Again, find ease with your neck. Exhale, chin to chest. Then the chest curls in, the belly curls in, and you're rocking onto the back of the pelvis. Inhale as you rock forward, opening your chest. Each spinal unit opening and extending as one. And exhale, chin to chest, starting from the top of the neck, down through the thoracic spine, into the lumbar spine, and onto the back of the pelvis. Do one more, reach forward, opening up the chin. Exhale, drawing all the way back. Coming back to neutral. Now, because you'll be opposite, I'm using my right, you can use your left. Reaching your left hand down to the floor, you can take your gaze and then take your right arm over to the side. Notice if you're reaching forward here, you want to be at a nice sort of side angle. Reaching over, finding flow again, palm faces down, gaze faces down. Hands just come gracefully over, stretching the side of the body. Inhale over. Exhale into the breath. Inhale over. Exhale into the breath. Inhale over. Exhale into the breath. And your last piece is you come over to your left. You're going to reach forward this time, keeping your sit bones down. Reach forward. Take your hand behind. Just take your gaze with you. So we'll do that sort of circular motion, reaching forward. Hands come behind, stretching through your fingers, pressing down through the sit bones. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale into the movement. One more time, reach forward. Last one. Back to center. Stretch a little to the front. And then draw back into your seated position. So our next song today is we will start in child's pose. So just rocking your knees over, coming into child's pose. Oops. And so I'll just go through the movement with you. Sometimes it's hard to be watching and doing at the same time. So you want to come into child's pose. Get centered on my mat. If child's pose is something that you find quite difficult with your knees bent like that, remember you can always put a cushion in between. The great thing about child's pose is it really stretches out the tightness in the shins. So over time it does actually improve. It also stretches out the buttocks, the gluteal area as well. So we want to start child's pose with our hands stretched out in front of us. And then we want to come up into a tabletop-like action. And we'll do a few cat-cows. So again, articulation of the spine where you're tucking your chin in, pushing the floor away, tucking under the pelvis and doming. Cow, as we start with the pelvis, dropping the chest, allowing the chest to come through, opening into cow. So let's just start with that movement and I'll guide you through the rest as we go through. So starting in child's pose.